Hey there everybody, welcome to a remake tutorial of Modding 101. So the reason why I'm remaking this video is just due to a high number of comments that have been left on my previous video about me not going into full greater detail about different stuff or not explaining what a specific thing means. Although sometimes I do take time and care onto explaining a whole bunch of stuff, I may have missed or unexplained something that I should have, so I honestly do apologize. So for those who have left a comment on my video and asked me to do so, here I am redoing it again. Now there are some people that just love to criticize whatever content anybody makes because they just love to do that. Trolls or whatever you want to call them. I really don't care. This video is a remake specific to the viewers of my videos who honestly asked me to remake a video, explain it better. So without taking any more of your time, let's get into it. Okay, let's go straight to the point. How do you go about modding the Xbox 360? I know a couple of ways and I will tell them really quick. Very first one, you could actually use USB mods. Back a couple of years ago, it was actually possible for you to use and download USB mods, but I believe just about every single one of them has been blocked by Microsoft, so I honestly do not believe that that is possible anymore. 2, have your own modded console. Yes, it is possible for you to own or buy an Xbox 360 RGH or JTAG. I will get to more details here in just a second. 3, have a friend who's a modder who has already an Xbox 360. This will include him actually going into a game with you and sharing some mods. For example, there is a mod menu called Matrix that they can actually share with you, and you can play online in a match and using a mod menu. Yes, it's possible, and like I said, I'll get to that in just a second. Lastly, make your own RGH or JTAG console. Yes, it's possible to do it. It takes quite a bit of work and knowledge of computing, but I actually recommend you buying one, and one of the person that I would recommend for you to try to buy or go buy one from would be my buddy Tony Mondello.
Hey, Captain J! What's happening, man? I've been checking out your YouTube. I know what you've been up to. Appreciate you, brother. It's good seeing you.
He has been making a whole bunch of RGH and JTAG consoles for years, and he is one of the persons that I describe as a professional. Now, I met Tony Mondello a couple of months back, and him and I talked, and I told him that I wanted to include him in one of my videos so that way I can show people where to go to buy a modded console. So yes, you can buy a modded console, you don't have to make it. If you do want to make your own, there's other YouTubers that will show you how to hack or mod an Xbox 360. Unfortunately, I don't want to do this. Why? Because I don't know how to, and I do not want to break nor mess up my Xbox 360. So plain and simple, I decided to buy one straight out. There's different places where you can get them. You can either go to Facebook Market. There are some people that could sell them. There's eBay, Amazon, Let Go. There's a whole bunch of like different places where you can actually go and buy an RGH Xbox 360. Once again, the RGH Xbox 360 is a modded console. It's a modded or hacked Xbox 360. As I mentioned, there's also JTAGs. Yes. There's also different types of RGHs. Yes. Plain and simple, go to somebody that sells an RGH. But if you want to make your own, search on YouTube on how to. I don't want to give you any false information, so I won't be showing you that, and I don't want to tell you any wrong information without me knowing. So this is the best advice that I can give you at the moment. Just you can go ahead and research, like I said, just how to do it. So watch that with somebody else, with another YouTuber. So I'm sorry, I will not be showing that in this video. Alright, so now you have your Xbox 360 with you. You either have made it or bought it. What now? What do you do next? You plug it all up and power it on, and you can't join online. And you don't know why. Well, that's because you need a stealth server. What is a stealth server? It's a service that's going to help you jump online. Why do you need it? Well, whenever you try to boot your console and try to go online, you're going to get banned. So a stealth server helps you to jump online. It somewhat overshadows you from Microsoft seeing that you have a modded console. Now you can go on YouTube and find stealth servers for whatever kernel you're currently in. It could be 17.544, 17.559, whatever. It could be one of the newest ones that you are probably in the future. So there's different stealth servers. Ninja is obviously one of the best ones that you could ever get. The thing though is that it is expensive, and even though it's really good, it's just way too expensive for some people. You're not willing to pay $55 for a month, or maybe you are. There's also Teapot. Teapot is literally right behind in quality and time and not being banned. And it's got a hefty price on it too, but it's not as bad. I mean, $45 for a month, that kind of sounds okay. But what then? Which one should you go with? Well, personally, I'd go with the free one first. That's what I did. Even though I did end up being banned, that kind of really didn't push me away from trying to keep on modding. Now, when you get banned, and trust me, this is going to happen. It's happened to me well over half a dozen times. So, what then? That doesn't mean you're not ever going to be able to go back online. This just means that you need to be a little bit more careful and maybe use a better stealth server. But now you got a little bit of experience, even though you've been banned maybe once. But anyway, so back to the stealth server. The stealth server helps you jump online, like I said. It overshadows Microsoft from seeing you, but only for a certain amount of time. It's also going to help you jump online. This doesn't mean that you need the stealth server. It doesn't mean that you have to use a stealth server all the time. If you don't want to jump online, you don't have to. If you don't want to use a mod menu online, you don't have to. The reason why you're getting a modded menu might not even be because you want to mod online. It could be just because you want to use emulators such as the NES, the SNES, Sega Genesis, N64, PS1, something like that. So the stealth server only is useful if you're trying to jump online and play online games and use mod menus. Some stealth servers come with mod menus, but some don't. So if you don't want to jump online and play online games, you don't have to get one. This is just if you want to mod or use your console online. That's what basically stealth servers do. They just help you jump online. They protect you for getting banned, at least for a little bit if it's a free stealth server, but if it's an expensive one, it's going to cover you for a lot longer. There's people that have gone unbanned for about 4 years with Ninja or with Teapot. So yeah, like I said, it all includes what you want to do, whether you want to jump online or not, whether you want to use mod menus or not, or whether you want to stay offline. So if you don't want to jump online with mod menus, you don't have to. You don't have to get a stealth server. But if you want to jump online, such as to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare and use a mod menu, or GTA 5 and use a mod menu, you should definitely need one. And now, speaking of mod menus, there's different ways that you can get them. Whenever you go to YouTube, you can search for, let's go specific, GTA RGH mod menus, as I've just searched. There's hundreds of videos available where people either showcase or give you the download link to a mod menu that would happen to be either cracked, or the showcase for you to be able to see what the mod menu can do. And if you are willing or you like what you see, you can go and purchase it. Now, the difference between a paid and cracked menu can be depending on the mod menu. For example, Purge is one of the best, most friendliest mod menus, or friendly to use mod menus that I have ever seen. It is just, like I said, really user friendly, and it's one of my most favorite mod menus to use. It's not very powerful, and it's mainly used on yourself. What I mean by that is that it allows you to do recoveries for yourself, whatever character you may be, and you can get millions and millions of dollars for you, modifying the car that you want. You can spawn a whole bunch of stuff that you want, have automatic health drops, refill all of your weapons if you want to, have explosive ammo. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with the mod menu, as well as other mod menus as well. But the thing about Purge is that there is a cracked version and a private version. To be honest, I've had both, and they're both the same exact thing. One of them just happens to be a little bit more friendly with your console, because I've seen some versions or some cracked versions of Purge that have crashed my game as soon as I try to load it. So what I would suggest doing is just finding one of them that works really well and you don't have much problem. It can be a little bit tedious, but trust me, it's a lot better, because you don't have to pay $50 to $60 for the full version. Now there is some mod menus that cost 50, 60, maybe $100. It could all depend. Some of them could be 5 or 10. So it's like, I would put an example as in Purge just being, let's just say, a mid-range vehicle. It's good, reliable, it'll go fast. But then you have supercars. Those are, they're going to win. They're a lot faster, have more horsepower. So there are some paid mod menus that are better than others. There are some unpublished mod menus that hackers have made for themselves that are way better than anything else that there's out there. But those hackers or modders, they don't share them. They keep those with them. So there are some really, really, really expensive mod menus that can go for $200 to $300. Yes, that's how bad mod menus are wanted. And because they're so powerful, nobody can touch the user. So yeah, but besides that, there are cheap and free mod menus that can protect you. There's quite a few of them. So one of the things that I have personally done to try to avoid a lot of users that have really, really powerful mod menus is I had a cracked version of a mod menu that would show me who was modding and who was not. Granted, there's some other mod menus that can hide from anybody doing that. But one of the things that I tried to do is that whenever I get to a lobby, whenever I'm playing on GTA Online, I tried basically to keep to myself. That's one. Two, if I'm going to be doing anything, I usually just send everybody a message saying, hey, I'm here, I'm going to give out some free deliveries or recoveries. If anybody wants some, hit me up, send me a message. But personally, I try not to ever mess with anybody. The reason for this is because whenever they have a really, really powerful mod menu, they can crash your console, or they can cause problems to your router. So this is why I tell everybody just to be really careful whenever you go online, because this can cause you problems, because there's other people that have more powerful stuff than you. So use at your own risk. Just try to really be careful. I'm sorry for talking too long about the mod menus and try to explain this, but I did say that I was going to go into detail about modding. So this is one of the most important things that you can do whenever you jump online. Now I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, but with the Call of Duties. I'll give you an example. Call of Duty Ghost. There is a very, very powerful mod menu that I personally own. It's called Matrix. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. This is all BS because Matrix has been discontinued. Well, I'm really happy to tell you and shove it in your face that Matrix has not been discontinued. The original creator has stopped selling it. Yes, the actual guy whose name was Matrix, I guess online, or sort of a secondary name, but whatever, he has stopped selling it. I have found a guy on Discord named Jort, Jort. This guy has been selling the Matrix mod menu. I don't know if he has Matrix permission or not, but he has the power to, in other words, give you the full version of Matrix. How do I know this? Well, as I talked on my YouTube channel before, I used to own a Trinity RGH, and that console I gave it away to my friend Puppet. Puppet owns the Trinity, and whenever I had that Trinity with me, I bought Matrix from the actual seller, from the website. Then I got rid of, I gave it away, I gave away the Trinity to Puppet. I bought a new one. I bought a Corona, and it did not have Matrix, so I wanted Matrix on my new Corona. And I tried to look for it, and guess what? It was gone. Matrix wasn't selling it anymore. I started looking around, I found a website and a video, and then I found this guy named Jort. I didn't believe him either because I knew it had been discontinued. Well, guess what? I have Matrix now on my Corona. I purchased the video from him. The menu from him. I made a video about him to tell and show everybody the Matrix was back and there was somebody else selling it. Believe it or not, there was another guy selling it, and like I said, I have proof on my console that I own Matrix mod menu once again, but not from the original seller. Anyway, Matrix mod menu for Call of Duty games is a host mod menu. What does this mean? This means that whenever you go into a lobby, people have to join you because you're forcing host. So because you're forcing host, whenever another regular player goes to look for a game, they will join you. So there you'll become the host. Whenever you have 3 to 4 different friends, you have to invite them to your game. That makes you the host. That's the only way that you can use the mod menu, because you have to be the host. But besides that, you can give prestige. You can unlock everything for them. You can give them a whole bunch of squad points. You can lend them a menu for them to use within the match, so they can also use Matrix mod menu within the match while you guys are playing in the game. Granted, there is a limit, because if they try to do too much, the game will crash, or it'll kick you out of the game. It'll say, connection to host has been whatever. So they'll kick you guys out of the game. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that they can do with the loaned mod menu. Like I said, every single time you go into a match, you can let them use that exact same mod menu. Now, Teapot, which is the stealth server that I was just talking about, has an OffHost mod menu. That OffHost mod menu doesn't do a lot. It's not very powerful, but you can use it without being the host. So that means you can join somebody else's game and still use that mod menu. That's the host and OffHost mod menus. And I hope I covered as much detail as possible trying to explain host and OffHost mod menus, as well as just explaining mod menus. And now moving on to a different part. What's next? Well, KVs. What is KV? That stands for Key Vault, quote unquote serial number. The reason why you need a new KV or a different one It's for whenever you happen to get banned. Trust me, this will happen. It has happened to me, like I mentioned earlier, half a dozen times. I don't know, I've lost count. But the point of it is that whenever your console gets banned, and like I said, trust me, it will get banned, you are going to need a new KV and you're going to have to change it. So how do you get these KVs? There's different sellers out there that claim that they can sell them for $5, $3, $2, $1.50. And it all depends on the seller, but personally I really don't trust a lot of people. So one of the places that I have found that is very trustworthy is Teapot. Yes, I know I talked about them having a mod menu, I talked about them having a stealth server, but they also sell KVs. Now, you do not want a used KV, you want an unused KV or a person that sells unused KVs. There's different people out there. I'm pretty sure whenever you go and get a free stealth server, whenever you boot up to the dashboard, it'll say there, you know, for free KVs, go to Discord and find this person or whatever. Just like I did when I showed about Jort, about him selling it. It'll show on there, you know, here's the person that, you know, you can get Matrix from. And the stealth server that I was using actually showed a person that was selling KVs. It's just somebody that they featured that I guess that they trust. So anyway, it's very simple to get and to use a KV, and it's also very simple to get banned while using a cheap KV, and also of course using a cheap stealth server, as well as you may be getting reported for using mods. For example, you'll be playing a Call of Duty game using mods or a mod menu like Matrix, and you know, I don't know, you'll be in God mode or invisible, or you'll be in GTA, dropping money, exploding people or whatever. You'll get reported regardless of whatever you're doing. As long as somebody finds out that you are doing it and they're not quote unquote happy about it, you'll get reported, therefore you'll get banned. This stuff happens. There's no real way to avoid it. It's just going to. So, as I said, the way that you can get KVs, it all depends on how you go and look for them. I believe Ninja has KV sellers. I'm not exactly sure. I will have to double check, but I know for a fact that Teapot does. And like I said, whenever you get a free stealth server from like YouTube, and you know, you get the executable file and you put it on your dashboard, which I'll talk about on part 2, or I have talked about on part 2. On there, like I said, they'll feature different people that do different type of stuff, and they'll probably show if you need KVs. It'll show there's somebody selling a KV, like I said earlier. So anyway, I do have part 2 on showing how to change a KV, and there's also part 3. So there's a lot more information on the other videos. So anyway, moving on. So these are the essential things that you're going to need to start modding. The RGH or JTAG console, whichever one you decide to get, and whatever motherboard or revision that you decide to get. A stealth server, whichever one you decide to pick from wherever or whichever one you'd like to try. A mod menu for whatever game you decide to mod in. So like I said, remember, a lot of the mod menus aren't usable between GTA and Call of Duty games, but there are a very few that can be used within like the Call of Duty franchises. It could be one menu for like 4, 5, 6 different games. The KV, so that way if you happen to get banned, you can get unbanned by changing the KV. So besides all of this, the best information, help, and everything else that I can teach you or show you, it's explained in a lot more detail. And I did talk about that you don't need a stealth server and you don't need a mod menu if you're not going to jump online and play online. That is only for whenever playing online, and if you want to even mod. There's also using emulators that does not require you to be online. So you don't have to have a stealth server, like I said, to play any emulators. So as I said and as I mentioned, there's a lot more stuff that I've showed. I've taught people how to do. I've helped them with different stuff, and I hope I was as clear as I could on the whole video with a lot more detailed than I did on my past ones. So if I did not, I'm sorry. This is the last time I'm going to remake this video. If you did not understand, leave a comment down below and I will try to help you with whatever details. If you need more help in detail about RGH or JTAG consoles, Tony Mondello is always available to answer any of your questions that you might have. Now, there's a difference between asking somebody a question and pestering them with constant questions all the time. So if you ask me, Captain J, how or what console do you recommend for me to get? I would say get a Trinity RGH 1.1 or 1.2. Those are some of the best ones. I would tell you to stay away from the Coronas. They are a headache. Dual NANDs are also, or can also be a headache, but they can have their own, somewhat of their own benefits. The reason is because you could break it if you're just doing some dumb stuff. So personally, the consoles that I've had, I love my Trinity. So that's the one that I would recommend. That doesn't mean everybody else is going to agree with me. There's a lot of people that love Coronas. They will say, do not get a Trinity, do not get a Falcon, do not get a Xenon. See, you're not going to understand none of that because you don't know them. But like I said, personally, I loved it. If you want to make your own, research it. Go through the videos all the way. If you want to buy one, contact Tony Mondello. He's one of the best guys that you can ever find out there. He will make a personal video for you with your console, with all the stuff that he added on. There's a whole bunch of stuff that he will already add on to the console, such as he'll include some time on a stealth server. He'll give you some time with a Purge ModMenu, which is a prepaid version of it. And he'll include hundreds of like I believe it's NES and SNES games. Don't exactly quote me on that, but there has been some people that have asked him to add a whole bunch of the original Xbox and Xbox 360 games. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that could already potentially be added to the console that you want. The RGH modded console that you want already, with a whole bunch of stuff already pre-made and pre-installed. So that's why I always recommend Tony Mondello. But anyway, this video is getting way too damn long, so I'm going to end it here. I'm going to say thank you so very much for watching. I hope the information that I give you was all correct and it was all very helpful, and I hoped I have explained with great detail about how to go on modding on the Xbox 360. So anyway, this was Captain J. Thank you all so very much for watching. Tony Mondello, shout out to you, brother. Thank you so very much, and I'll see everybody else on the next one. Peace.